What's up? Hopefully it's not distorting. Good to see everyone. It's first live stream since my 5-hour. That wore my voice out. I'll tell you that. By the end of it, I couldn't even talk. So I've been practicing, kind of starting the new year, practicing my scales and arpeggios. I was talking to my buddy Kinch last night, and we were video chatting, and he was asking me how I practice my arpeggios. He was doing some sweep picking things, and I said, well, I don't really practice arpeggios straight up and down typically. What I usually do is that I will start to add notes and kind of develop multiple arpeggios out of a take, you know, like let's say you take a D minor 7, right? So I'm up here at the 10th fret, right? D minor 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. Now, yeah, that's cool. You should definitely know how to play that, right? But the things that I like to practice is I'll add one tension note to it, like the flat 6, right? So I added it here. That note's the flat 6, so it gives you that minor Aeolian sound, right? And right there I added the 9th, so. And right there I kind of developed it a little bit. It's almost like I'm playing a piece. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so there's a bunch of different arpeggios right there. By the way, discount code for today's video is RB300. It's 60% off my Beato book bundle, the YouTube, Instagram transcription bundle, and 40% off the ear training course. So check it out. Anyways, so flat 6. So I use the root, the 9th. That's the 5th there, right? But down to the 4th too. Well, you might say, well, you used the 6th, the 4th, and the 9th in there. Well, I did, right? Ooh, that's nice, right? So here I'm going 1, flat 6, and then I did the flat 6 to the flat 7th. And then I did the 11th to the 5th. I just love those sounds there, right? And then if you want to add even another one on there, so I did. I played a quartal arpeggio, or sus4, at the top of it. But this is the main thing here, is adding these tension notes here. If you want to come down a different arpeggio, that sounds a little bit more inside, right? So I'm using a sus2 arpeggio here, but it's giving you the 9th root, 5th. So that's like D sus2. But I'm just thinking D minor right here. That's all. So this is all D minor. That way you're not just playing straight arpeggios, which you should know anyways. You should know these things. But you should know the straight minor 7th arpeggios, right? But don't get stuck just playing those all the time. There's people that will play these for years and years. Once you have that fingering down, you can use that forever, right? So it's like, try to develop ideas based off arpeggios or new arpeggios by finding some interesting interval combinations in there, right? You can move around the arpeggio like that. So ooh, I've never played that. I really like the sound of that, right? So that's just D minor, basically, right? I'm adding some extra notes of the scale, but to me, it just sounds so cool, right? And it actually stands on its own with no accompaniment. You can actually hear the sound, right? And then then Kinch and I were talking. He's like, well, what about if you're playing on a D major chord? And I said, we can play something like this. I think this is what I played. I know it sounds like The Simpsons, right? So here I'm going. I go 1, 3, 1. So already I'm breaking out of the straight pattern, so that what you don't want to do is you don't want to get locked into fingering patterns. You want to play things that have an unpredictable sound. The unpredictability in this is when I go 1, 3, 1 instead of 1. Right? I went or so I go 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I use this, what I call Lydian triad there, but it's like D, and I resolve it like that. Now, to me, that is just a beautiful, beautiful sound. Right? Hear that Lydian to it. Or you could even do... oh, that's a great sound too. So that's Lydian, but different. You guys will hear me play things like that. So I did 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, sharp 4. I used an E major chord here, but I used the 4 up there, which to me sounds very melancholy, as opposed to... That sounds okay too. I just love that sound. I love that because the A natural, because you're hearing this, the flat 9 interval in there, and it sounds ethereal. Lucas said, dreamy, ethereal feeling, right? Because it's not what the ear is predicting. You try and break out of what the ear is predicting. The ear, once you start playing really scalar ideas, the ear just starts filling in these things. And to me, these are the things that will make your playing less interesting. So you want to constantly work on things. Take a basic arpeggio, start on the lower half with the main arpeggio, like D7, right? So that's D7, right? I'm going 1, 3, 5, 1, or flat 7 to 1. Okay, so I added this triad here B major triad to give it a 13 flat 9 sound. That's cool sound to me, I think. And then I went to G major there, right? I resolved it to 1. Right? There's G major. Okay, so I can add an E triad to a D7 chord. Right, so that gives you a dominant 7, but with a sharp 11. I love that. Okay, that's would be a Lydian or a mixed sharp 11 sound right there, right? This, that scale, or that sound. Sean asks, what scales do you think are necessary for getting into jazz music? Really, most jazz uses the major scale and the melodic minor scale. Pretty much. That's it. Yeah, the harmonic minor scale, I use things like that. Harmonic major scale, I use things like that. Double harmonic major, I use things like that. But to play jazz tunes, you don't need any of those scales. I mean, you just don't. Most of the chord progressions come out of the major or melodic minor scale. Excuse me, the alter dominant scale, the mixed sharp 11, melodic minor, low Korean natural 2, those are the melodic minor modes. So let's say you have this, right? That would be a major, minor, major 7, right? That's a melodic minor mode. If I played C sharp altered, that would be, so that's a mode that you would use. The mixed sharp 11, like I said, and the low Korean natural 2 is the other one. Those are the common ones. So there's melodic minor, low Korean natural 2, alter dominant. There's Lydian augmented. I use that a lot. I'll use that as a sub for 1 if I go, 2, 5, 1 like that. But that's more modern, a more modern sound. But I will create arpeggios with these notes in them too, right? Let's say I take D minor major 7. I can play an arpeggio like this. So I added an A major triad. I did D minor, A major. That gives me that sharp major 7 sound, right? That's totally the sound of that chord. I love that. So all this stuff is in my book. Discount code RB300. And to be able to hear these things, check out my ear training course, my ear training program. Because what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to hear these sounds, right? Recognize them. So when I hear someone play this stuff, I'm like, I know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. That's Lydian augmented. That's alter dominant. That's, Dorian. That's major add 9 arpeggio, whatever it is. You just instantly recognize the things by ear from practicing this stuff. Where in the book is this? It's really all through the book. Of so many different examples of this stuff. And then I have my quick lesson, Instagram quick lessons, where I will play these things and you can hear them demonstrated on my Instagram. If you don't follow me at Rick Beato 1. But to me, this is the way to practice things musically. Practice arpeggios, adding these notes to them and creating your own. So these things are the things that I play that I like the sound of. You can create your own, but when I play, anybody that knows my playing knows I play things like that. Matt says time to go buy orange Gatorade. It makes you more melodic. I love that sound. It's just, to me, it's just a beautiful, beautiful sound, adding those tension notes in it. And then it's not just playing all the straight stuff like that. I mean, you can do the same thing with major. I can take a D major. Let's say I'm taking D major, but I'm adding A major here. So I did D major, right? And then A major. Or I could do D major, E major. This is cool. Right? There's my E major. Beautiful sound, right? So if you're I wouldn't use it exactly like that, probably, if I'm improvising. Right? Do something like that, maybe. I used part of it. Just have to know where these things are, really. This is knowing your fingerboard. So I'm seeing these. I love that sound. Or it's just, to me, that's just way, way more interesting to practice these things, because then you're just always playing music. Always practice things with chord progressions, right? If you're practicing your arpeggios, you're practicing your scales, try and do them, try to do them in progressions, right? So I do a D major. So I'm going, I'm taking a progression like that. D major, A major, C major, G major, B flat major, F major. Right? Or so I just changed the timing. But I'm just playing over chord progressions like that. Always kind of know where you're going. Somebody said that lick sounds like fish. Maybe I got it from Trey. You know, the problem with things like sweep picking, for example, is that sweep picking locks you in to specific fingerings and specific note orders. If you play a sweep picking lick, you pretty much get locked into certain types of things, playing them the same way all the time. Not everybody. Frank Ampali was not like that. Frank can play anything. So he's not locked into anything. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know, if he wants to alternate pick something. When I interviewed him, and if you haven't watched it, I interviewed him about a year and a half ago, and I said, Frank, how's your alternate picking? And he did this alternate picking run that was so fast. I mean, he just flew down a chromatic scale. He's like, yeah, I can alternate pick, no problem. I was like, okay. Actually, in that video, my first thing I said to him was like, Frank, what's the hardest thing to play? And he goes, and he starts playing this thing, and it's like all over the guitar, right? He's sweep picking everywhere. And he goes, if I can play that cleanly, I'm warmed up. And he goes, obviously I'm not warmed up. And I was like, oh my God. It was insane. It was these lines where he was using this part of his pinky. Even I said, Frank, you don't just use this part. He's like, oh, I used the whole part of my entire finger there. He's literally sweep picking, and his hand is it's insane. You got to watch. If you haven't seen the video, look up my interview with Frank. It's amazing. I'm sitting about 2 feet from him when he's doing this, and I was just cracking up the whole time. He just ripping through it. And then making fun of himself too. It was very, very funny. When I went to NAMM last year, I told people that Frank was probably, of all the people I saw, Frank blew me away the most. Definitely. Oh my God. He's, geez. He just killed it at the Kiesel booth. He was playing through to a backing track through a Hughes and Kettner amp, not his amp, just nothing. And he just crushed it. Oh my God. And people were packed in, and it's ridiculous. Somebody asked, is there a coupon code? Yes. The Instagram bundle, Beato book 4 Instagram bundle is RB300. It's 60% off. 700-page PDF, and 40% off my ear training course. So Billy is posting it in the chat right now. Frank Gambale. Yeah, Frank is, man. He's a guy that just, mastered this technique, and it can play anything. It's really, really amazing. Kinch, what's up? Streetwise Guitars, my friend Kinch, that I was talking about with this. If you don't follow him, you should follow his channel. He's got some great guitar stuff on it, some great interviews with a bunch of great guitar players. He has an interview with me, but I told him, I said, Kinch, nobody wants to see an interview with me. I have a million videos of me out there. But Kinch and I were talking about this, so I was like, I'm going to do my live stream on this today. So I've been thinking about it, Kinch, since last night. Top albums to learn guitar. Depends on what you want to learn. There's a lot of good ones. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I saw somebody say congrats on the Gibson signature. I wasn't supposed to talk about that on the live stream on New Year's, but I did. And my buddy Cesar, who's at Gibson, he sent me a thing from Guitar Player magazine or something. They posted it, and I was like, oh, I forgot I talked about it. I couldn't even remember where I talked about it in the thing, but it was totally cool about it. You know, they weren't ready to announce it yet, but about the signature guitar. I'm going to get the second prototype here, I think later this week, which I'm looking forward to. So we'll see. Anyways, okay, so that's good for today. Go get back and watch this. You can watch it half speed if you need to figure out any of these things. I tried to keep my guitar in the window as much as I could here, but you know that YouTube goes to 3/4 speed, half speed. You slow the stuff down, replay it. All these ideas are in my book, my Beato book, YouTube, Instagram transcription bundle. Discount code is RB300. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the super chats. Let's see. Kin Productions, love to hear another Rush breakdown. Yeah, we'll do one. I have episode 100 coming up on what makes a song great. I've not picked it yet. So anyways, 40% off the ear training course. Discount code RB300. You want to support the channel? That's how you can do it. You guys are amazing. Thanks for being here today, and we'll see you soon. Bye.